It's on! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live for February 14th, 2022, Valentine's Day. And on this Valentine's Day, I have decided to spend the next hour with the two people I love more than anyone in the entire world. My wife right there, the one and only Rebecca Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing fine, honey. How are you?
I am doing great. And the man down there, Laughing Place Vice President of Love in all its forms, that would be Jeremiah Good.
Aw.
How are you, honey?
And the fourth member of our team, who I love almost as much as Jeremiah, he would be number 3 on my love list, is Mike Celestino. He will be joining us later. He is making his way back from Disneyland Resort after watching the celebration from the Super Bowl. So, my name is Doobie, if I forgot to mention that, and we're going to get started. As a reminder, we are live, so if you have any questions about the week in Disney theme park news, anything in particular you'd like us to cover, like our opinion on, have any kind of question about visiting Disney theme parks, we are more than happy to be here for you. With that, Gideon really falling down the rankings on this stream, and then out of sight, out of mind. All right, so with that, let's get started. Our top story that we want to discuss now, until Mike arrives, is popcorn, because nothing. You know what's funny about this picture, Jeremiah? So these are the Figment popcorn buckets. They are back. They are once again for sale. And I feel like if they just put these just like this for the first time, not now because the hubbub started, but before they ever sold any, if they took this item and just put it in mouse gear, which doesn't exist anymore, no one would care. It's just a plastic Figment. But the fact that they call it a popcorn bucket made it the biggest thing in the world. So they're back, right, Germ?
Yes. This morning, I was already planning on going to Epcot. So it was a very convenient, hey, I'm going to Epcot. And then I wake up and I have about 5 messages. And we're already on the article about it being back. But the nice thing about it now, and just to backtrack a little bit, I was told very clearly by the proprietors of the booths at the Festival of the Arts that the popcorn buckets were probably not going to make it back this season. So the words that were tweeted out, said by us, were from the officials. They weren't just us going, no, they're not going to make it back. But anyway, they came back today. We found that they were available on the mobile order before the park opened. And I walked up, I'm there, grabbed my bucket, walked out, and I was done.
Yeah, it was really cool. I know that Gio, who's right here in the chat, who says that when he says this, he seeks one of us. He actually emailed this morning, but I had not yet sent it over to the team when I noticed we had published it. So perhaps somebody else on the team noticed it from Gio, or perhaps it was something they stumbled upon themselves. But this was very exciting news. I'm hoping that they'll still be available as the runners arrive, because the Run Disney weekend is just a little, just kind of right around the corner. So I'm sure there's a lot of them who are like, oh, so close. Maybe I'll still be there when I get there, because I know for me, I just missed it. I arrived too late to wait in a day-long line. I'm kidding, it wasn't quite that bad, but I didn't. But they were gone by the time I arrived on my trip, so I can only imagine the anxiety for people who do want to procure one of these adorable purple dinosaur.
Wow, she called Figment pink. He's insulted.
Well, his stomach is pink.
And perhaps news that's just as big is not only are they back, but they're even easier to get, right, Jeremiah?
Oh, completely easy. They aren't at the booth anymore. They're at the World Showplace. Mobile order is the only way you can get it, so there is no waiting in line. Go on there, select it, hit the time you're going to be there. Once you're in that window, you press I'm here. They tell you which way to go. You walk in. I think, did Kyle update the pictures with the display?
I think so. Let me check.
The World Showplace is just completely about these popcorn buckets now.
Do you get popcorn when you purchase them there?
So There was no popcorn. I kind of
Disney
walked
are
out going,
geniuses.
I don't get popcorn this time. I don't get a free spork. I don't know what's going on.
So Disney has this genius idea to take these plastic character pieces that no one would otherwise care about, put popcorn in them, and make them popular. And now to expedite getting them out to the people, they don't even bother with the popcorn.
Yeah, and there was nothing from the time I walked in to the time I walked out of, where's my popcorn? Not that I eat popcorn, so it didn't really matter, but at least the first time they ran out of popcorn, I got a free spork.
Mr. Bob Noah, yes, we're aware of that. We're not sure what's going on. Sorry about that. The audio. Apologize to everyone for the audio issues we're having when Jeremiah speaks.
Yeah, poor Jeremiah. He's long.
Jeremiah, let's start a GoFundMe for a new computer.
If you know, actually, Jeremy, if you want to put back in go back to your headphones.
Yeah, go back to your headset.
The lower volume's better than this.
Yeah.
Should I plug in my headset or just put them on to
why don't you, we're going to take you out for a moment. Get yourself all set up. Sorry about that, guys. Jeremiah is just, I think the world is telling Jeremiah he talks too much. Homeboy, you never shut up, to channel a little bit of the Super Bowl halftime show.
He was having trouble. He was having trouble with his volume being too low earlier, so he unplugged the headset. That sounded great, and then all of a sudden, when we were broadcasting, then it got all sketchy. I'm not falling for that.
Oh, come on!
All right, so Jeremy, you're even though you plugged it in, I think it's still going through.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah, you leave, you get completely out of here and come back, and then it should be okay.
Savi's is back with
a good news is, sure, we have another guest. So, Mike, I was just telling everyone that we're celebrating Valentine's Day, and we're doing this with the people I love the most in the world, you and Rebecca. You have replaced Jeremiah because Jeremiah is having audio issues. So,
what about your son?
You are the second person to bring that up. What is with you people and telling me how to take care of my children?
Okay.
All right. So Mike just came back from Disneyland.
Yes.
Where the actual top story of the day is he got to stand next to Aaron Donald. What did you see over there?
I saw all the football people.
There's nothing better than when Mike goes to a sports event and talks about the football people.
They looked like they were all about football. They were waving.
So Mike Celestino, not the biggest sports fan on the LP team, but he is in charge of Southern California theme park. So he went down to Disneyland Resort.
I did not take those photos, but I did take a video that should be in there too.
Yeah.
I will help him out. So there in the upper left were Cooper Kupp, star wide receiver for the.
Oh, that's the guy. When people say his name, it sounds like they're booing.
Very good, Mike. Very good. Yeah.
I learned that today.
And diagonal from him in the bottom right, the guy who throws him the ball all the time, that's Matthew Stafford. Just came over from the Detroit Lions this year and won himself a Super Bowl, maybe a ticket to the Hall of Fame. And then in the bottom left corner, the defensive star, maybe the best player in all of football, Aaron Donald, defensive lineman for the LA Rams. And then in the upper right, the unsung hero of the team, Mickey Mouse. Were the fans excited down there, right?
You know what? I've done this before, and I guess I should have realized because it's a local team that it would be more popular today. But in the past, I've been there like an hour before the parade, and I got a good spot on Main Street. But yeah, I got there like 2 hours ahead, and Main Street was already occupied completely. So I went back by Small World. It actually worked out because that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
I stood there in the Small World Mall. I got a nice shot of them coming down the corridor there, and then after they passed, I ran. I didn't run. You're not supposed to run, but I walked swiftly through Fantasyland and out the side passageway through Sleeping Beauty Castle because the main gate drawbridge was closed off. But I hustled my way over down to Main Street and got another angle of the other side of the float because I thought when they first passed me, I thought I couldn't see one of the dudes. So I got both sides. You can watch it on the Laughing Place
cool.
YouTube channel.
So yeah, this is Mike's video, his 2-angle video with one person, which is amazing. Yeah, I remember that when we used to cover these. It's very easy to get multiple videos during one parade, which is pretty cool. Did you any other of your personal experience? Did you get to interview them or follow them around? None of the fun stuff.
No, as far as I know, we didn't get any kind of media access,
Okay.
so it was just me. I chatted with our friends over at Mr. Daps.
Cool.
You know those guys.
So,
Really
Mr. Bob Newell, will Disney World get a parade? I don't think so. Usually they have one at the whatever's closest to where the game was. And considering that LA is the team too, this was ideal. Beautiful shot that is. Can you make that one bigger, hon? I love that shot.
Last year, because of Corona, they didn't have a parade. Instead, they just had Gronk show up at Walt Disney World because they often the celebratory event afterwards is oftentimes whatever is closest to the venue. If it's a West Coast Super Bowl, then they'll go to Disneyland. If it's East Coast Super Bowl, they'll head over to Walt Disney World. But sometimes that'll vary. But
It's the Mississippi is the partying line.
Yep, but there's been a couple of times where that may have been shaken up just a wee bit, depending on dynamics. But like I say, last year we just got some fun footage of Rob Gronkowski, having a bit of fun with the mice. Oh, my computer doesn't want to cooperate with me, so I was going to share that. But one of my favorite. Oh man, yeah, my computer's just shut down on me. Yeah, see? Can you guys hear that and not see it?
Yeah.
There it is. So they shot this right in kind of a backstage area. Everybody very distanced, because at the time things were far more protocol oriented than they are right now. Let's see. Jeffrey talks about having seen Nick Foles a few years back when he won. Over the years, Dibby, we've seen quite a few of these.
Well, I've seen Eli Manning twice. For some reason, ended up there for both his Giant wins. I remember when the Steelers won.
Wait, Eli Manning was on the Giants?
Yes. Are you questioning me?
No, the Giant wins sounded more like.
Oh, jeez.
Got to make sure my mic is working. That's what's up.
It is, unfortunately. I think Pittsburgh Steelers had, I think it was Hines Ward, and I can't remember who was there with. Jerome Bettis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so, the bus, yes. So, unfortunately, never got to do that when my favorite team won the Super Bowl, the Cowboys, because the last time they won a Super Bowl, I was in diapers, more or less. But, yeah, it's an exciting thing.
Yeah, I always enjoy when they do these sporting events at the parks and you get the fans out there. It used to be kind of more, I felt like they're like less known. Like people weren't expecting it necessarily, but then because they wouldn't do it like right away. And then at some point it became kind of like you knew it was going to be the day after. So, you could kind of prep for it. So
right. Kyle got to see the other Manning, Peyton. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Manning. I think Cooper Manning has just been in the audience. I don't think he ever actually got the parade. So, of course, that was all because of the Super Bowl, which was yesterday, and Super Bowl commercials, the aspect of the Super Bowl Mike Celestino is more interested in. Although I think you spent the day at the park, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, we were at California Adventure yesterday.
But for those of us that watched the Super Bowl, the highlight commercial, obviously, was obviously the bouncing around QR code. But other than that, it was
this
cool
was
Plus commercial.
A horrible commercial.
The goats?
Yes.
What? No, this was wonderful.
Get out. Your opinions are as bad as your audio.
How can you not like the goats?
Well, one, it had Aquafina, and I don't like Aquafina, the drink or the actress. Two, it was just like, this was almost Disney Plus ripping off WWE from a few years ago. They had somebody walking through the WWE headquarters, and the wrestlers were all just all over the place. Instead, they had goats dressed up.
We're still getting your audio through the computer, Jeremiah, for which just
yeah, dude, I don't know what
not through your headphones.
So, see if we can click on the the little settings down there and change it to be through your headphones rather than your computer.
Yeah, you should be able to do that straight from the here, Jeremiah.
Right here in the app.
Oops, sorry.
Okay,
Oops,
or you can
double
leave.
sorry. And sorry.
No, I liked it. Did you get to see this ad yet, Mike?
No, we watched the Doctor Strange one and the Moon Knight one, but we haven't watched the goats yet.
You need to watch the goats. You need to watch the barcode, the QR code.
No. You just,
Okay.
no,
I know everybody's angry at Larry David for being in a cryptocurrency ad. But
Yeah.
Why?
I can tell you later, Doobie. I'll explain it to you. The goats one is reminded me of back when they used to do those really weird Disney commercials where the Big Thunder Mountain goat would talk. Do you remember those at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what came to mind for me when all these little goats. But I love the notion because people are always talking about the goat when you talk.
Yeah, because Disney goat, and they showed all their goats. It was so hilarious.
I love it, and they focused on they had some that were dressed like Chewie, stormtroopers. They had some Marvel stuff like this Loki. So yeah, lots of fun. But I think we have other news that Mike Celestino is far more interested in, Doobie.
What would that be?
He doesn't have to walk so much anymore.
Oh, Mike, are you even a tram taker? Or do you walk anyway?
I will say for many years, it was about 50-50. Depending on how exhausted we were at the end of the day. Like if we spent a full day walking around Disneyland, we would wait for the tram. But if we still had some pep in our step, we would make our way through downtown Disney and go out, walk through the downtown Disney parking lot back to Mickey and Friends. So I've done both a lot. I'm glad it's going to be an option because walking that tram route like I did today, you always see a lot of people who are maybe not as, mobile as I am, or, and they're having a tough time with it. And there's benches along the way and stuff, but it's a long hike.
As somebody who's not as mobile as you are, I was greatly appreciative of the fact that Disney did move their ECV rental location and their stroller location to the parking structure. So at least you weren't having to deal with that aspect as far as, when you were making your way from the parking structure to the main gate. But it's nice to once again have the trams. The trams are coming back on the 23rd.
Testing Jeremiah, speak.
Test.
Okay, so we are back to low volume Jeremiah, but infinitely better than static Jeremiah.
So I found the popcorn that is like barely kernels. They're like almost crushed. So that's why it was in there, but I didn't feel it.
Wait, so there was popcorn in the bucket?
Yes.
You just didn't know.
Oh,
No,
okay.
because hang on, let me show you what this looks like in here.
Wait, can you imagine if he never checked in like 3 years he pulled this thing out? Yes, there's some popcorn in there.
No, this is going to my friend in California, so the popcorn would not have made it through TSA.
Very nice.
What's that copyright claim? Sorry, that's the Slack message.
Yeah.
All right.
The football song got flagged on YouTube.
Yes, that darn football song.
No surprise there. The football song.
February 23rd, which is just 9 days away, the big giant trams will once again allow guests easier access to the park, much to the consternation of no one.
Hey, Bob Noel. You must be happy. You love show and tell. There you go. A little show and tell. Hi, Andrea.
What's the current, since we've got Jeremiah here, what's the current tram status at the Walt Disney World parks?
Just Magic Kingdom at this point.
Just Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we're waiting for the other parks.
A little behind the scenes here at Laughing Place. This is our editor, Kyle. when Germ opened up the show, letting everybody know that he had no popcorn. Kyle's thinking, "Hey, that would have been good to know." As I wrote up about the popcorn bucket. Now, good thing he did it because I would have been in error.
That is hilarious. Oh man, that is great.
I keep forgetting that this isn't like Mike. I also will co-host with Mike Celestino on this channel, and I think of that's like an audio podcast that we also do video, and I forget that that's not the way things are here because I'm like over-explaining the thing.
For people watching with their eyes closed.
Perhaps it should be though. Oh, Gio, we don't talk about popcorn.
Nope.
Hey, we are parents. We hear that song at least once a day. You should suffer with us.
Did you guys sit through all of the Jungle Cruise video towards the end of it?
No, I haven't. No, I'm sorry.
There is a highlight at the end of that.
Oh,
Go to our YouTube channel, watch the Jungle Cruise ride through that I filmed the other day, and go all the way to the end. The stall material, there's a definite part that I laughed way too hard at.
For the record, on this Valentine's Day, there was a highlight throughout it, Jeremiah.
And over at Disney California Adventure, the Food and Wine Festival is making its triumphant return.
I have an actual question about this.
You're the answer guy, not the question guy.
You ask the questions, though.
I'll be out there on the Mike. Hang on, I'll be out on the 4th, so I can answer any questions for you you may have.
So, when the park shut down 2 years ago, it was in the middle of, or near the beginning of, I think, the Food and Wine Festival, and I still have my taste, sip, and savor, or whatever card, with like a few tabs on it. Are they still going to be valid? Will they be accepting those, or I'm too late to address that?
I feel that is something we definitely need to find out. Why don't you contact your, go through your vast network of Disneyland contacts and find out, because that's a legit question.
It is.
Universal honors their Mardi Gras and some of their celebrations from year to year, so this one could be. But then again, Mike, you can't eat anything anyway.
No, but my wife can.
And if you're wondering what Mike's talking about, that's the Sip and Savor Pass that gives you 8 tabs that you can then redeem at various locations for food or non-alcoholic beverages. And it's all throughout Disney California Adventure. And I think, and then the downtown Disney locations and hotel area, they have unique food options. It's not part of this Sip and Savor Pass, but they also will have more unique items on their menus during this time. And there's also the requisite festival merchandise. This year, the Food and Wine Festival items will be featuring the fun. Is it called the Fun Wheel still? No, it's the Pixar Pal Around.
Yes.
So, and then this design where there's like a hidden Mickey in the grapes. There you go. You can kind of see the little hidden Mickey in the center of the grape design there. So some new fun coming March 4th.
Yeah, there's more fun than that.
I'm sorry, what?
There's more fun than that.
There's also a new experience this year. Alice's Wonderland Bakery Unbirthday Party. This is for kids 3 through 11. It's a hands-on cupcake decorating. Space is limited. It's something that you sign up ahead of time. More information is available on the website, which we will have a link below. Yes, sir, Mr. Doobie, sir.
Do we know if they confirm it is your unbirthday before allowing you to participate?
That'd be funny. It's your birthday. You can't come.
Your day is special enough already. Get out of here.
You're not allowed.
What is the coolest part, if you scroll down just a little bit further, of what's happening March 4th through April 26th? There it is.
Well, that's a whole different article. See right here.
Woohoo! It is. It is a different article, but it relates to this.
Go ahead.
Soarin' over California. Mike, is this your preferred version of Soarin'?
It is.
Because it uses real stuff instead of a bunch of CGI?
Oh, I guess that kind of bugs me in the new one. I just think do you feel like it has more motion in over California?
Soarin' Over the World has more motion.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm remembering wrong then.
Soarin' Over California is very where Soarin' Over the World, like when you're going over the Great Wall, has that big dip, and then you have some banks.
Oh, now we've got the low volume and the static. We've
Right?
got the best of both worlds.
Hey, Brian, we're pretty old school too. We were there opening day, so yeah.
Yeah, and before.
We know what you're talking about. We OG.
So for the duration of the festival, Soaring Over California instead of Soaring Around the World will be back. You'll be able to visit Malibu and Palm Springs and downtown LA and San Diego and San Francisco and all these other places. Yep. Very cool.
I'm excited. I like the music.
Exciting. The music is the bomb diggity, that's for sure.
There's a golf course. Remember that?
Yeah, the Mickey, the golf ball coming right at you. I think that part's CGI.
And
Michael Eisner. Yeah.
And if you look very carefully as you're flying towards the castle, if you look down to the right in front of what used to be the photo shop, Rebecca and Doobie are there. We're there.
What?
You can't tell that it's us, but we're there.
We were there
Yeah,
the day they filmed
it. It was really fun.
How long did you guys sit there? Because I know that my friend was in there, I think, for 4.5 hours while they were doing flyovers.
I don't remember how long we stuck around.
But it was cool because you just got to sit. You were there, and literally a helicopter comes flying down Main Street and then has to go up to avoid the castle. I mean, that was insane.
It was pretty amazing to be on Main Street during that. It was very, very cool. Totally. So I have no idea if the footage that we were there, like if we were there for the actual moment that it went by, but it was very, very fun to, like he says, see a helicopter come down Main Street to where it had to rise up to keep traveling north. So very, very fun.
We have a hot take here. So I always laugh about how people miss A Bug's Land. Even though they laughed at it when it came, but Brian wants McDonald's coming back. So I don't think anything is more ridiculed than the concept of bringing McDonald's to inside Disney theme park.
That was such heresy when it first appeared inside the Disney parks. People were just aghast. It was one of those. If there had been, what's the thing where you sign your name online, change.org
petition.
Yeah. If there had been that back then, the McDonald's cart that originally happened in Frontierland would have been one of those. I remember those days.
And Justin, I was going to say, Justin, you forget how long ago this was. This was before there was a such thing as video. So I believe one of our friends who's a pretty good artist, they kind of drew like a rendition of what it was like.
I think Zapruder was there and he had his 8mm camera in black and white.
The best part about McDonald's and DCA, the Meteor Burger, was that when it first opened, you could pick up your chicken McNugget sauce out there. So people would walk out with bags of McNugget sauce.
Oh,
I remember that. People were happy about that. People went plenty. They just complained about it.
Yeah.
And Gio points out one of the things that I noticed on our recent trip was when we were on Soarin'. You're there, you're in the movie, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, where are the construction walls?
Well,
where's that big Guardians of the Galaxy building? For
the finale at Epcot, every single person in there is CG. I've talked to people that had cast members staffed at every entry point in Epcot, making sure no people were in the fly zone. So every person in there is CG, and there were people waiting to go in to work while they're filming that.
And Justin, camcorders were around. In fact, we usually carried them, but this was a cast member event. So I think I don't think we would have been bringing a camcorder into a cast member event. We were very careful back. We were very careful and are very careful to kind of respect when cast members have their moments. And it was different back then. Not so much social media and all that kind of thing. So let's see.
That was pre-LP Live. We're going way back.
Look at Tony. Tony with the mic is on Dolby and Jeremiah is AM. What's going on? Sorry. Oh, everybody wants to know the name of your cat, mister.
Oh, this is Calico. She's named after the not fictional ghost town of Knott's Berry Farm, which is named after a real ghost town in California.
And has she ever been there?
She is not, but we have. We went recently. We went within the last year Calico, the real Calico.
I meant Knots, but
Oh,
she
did
hasn't been to
Knots?
either one?
Nazi was there over the weekend, right? Or
No,
Okay.
that was not me. But we'll be going again soon, I think, for Boysenberry Festival, probably.
Woohoo!
So you've been to the real Knot? Did you do like a comparison of the real Calico versus the Knots Calico?
You mean for the website?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh no, we were on vacation. Sorry. No, it was cool though. They have like a little train ride, and you could do like a walking tour of one of the mines, and they have like a ghost town type like saloon and a bunch of other buildings. It's
And
neat.
a mystery shack. Is that what that thing is called?
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
They
They
have
have
one of
that
those?
there.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
that
do
thing
it?
where it's like all the optical illusions and
Yeah,
stuff.
we've
Yeah,
done
wow.
we've done the famous the mystery spot in Northern California.
You guys need to go up and do the mystery spot and record all of that.
Where is it?
San Jose area.
Oh, okay. This is probably not the best time to do that research.
By the way, it was Charlie Brown Day over the weekend, and so guests who visited Knott's Berry Farm got a button in celebration of Charlie Brown Day.
Aw,
Yeah,
good grief, that's awesome.
I was wondering if Charlie Brown Day always coincides with football, because you know how he always had the football. Like,
It's always the day before the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Mike Celestino, Vice President of LP coverage of Peanuts. Who was your favorite Peanuts character?
We talk about this a lot because we go to these Peanuts events at Knott's, my wife and I, and I think the thing is, like, I grew up watching the Peanuts cartoons. I never got into the comic strip. I guess I'm dodging the question here. Who's my favorite character? I'm probably a Charlie Brown. I think
Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Linus is a little needy. He's got that blanket.
like Mike Celestino's deep dive into.
Linus is a little needy. Let's take that quote out for the article. Jeremiah.
Lucy is a real attitude problem.
I'm not going to answer any more questions. I just want Mike to rank and give us the mental problems of all the Peanuts characters.
Let me ask one more for Mike, if you could, on this Valentine's Day. See if I can get you in trouble. Which Peanuts character would you say your wife is most like?
This is going to be fun.
I'm trying to think of one that's not insulting.
That would defeat the purpose of the question. Right?
The redheaded girl. The little redheaded girl.
I guess so, but that character has no personality, and Tori definitely does.
Marcy?
Okay.
I'm trying to move it along.
No, I don't know.
I was trying to help my friend Mike out.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
The Disney Wish had its float out. This is a lovely moment in time when it floats out from the shipyard where it's been built. And they have fireworks and music. Apparently, you can hear Let It Go emanating from the top deck. So lots really, really beautiful footage. It was during a golden hour. I love the way that the sun is reflecting off her beautiful broadside there. I am so
Whoa, hey, let's not talk about beautiful broadsides right now.
I am just cracking up that with Jeremiah's audio issues, when we were talking Charlie Brown, he just sounded like the parents.
That's not what that says.
That's close enough.
He's in my doghouse now. So yeah. So there you go. The Disney Wish. We're getting closer and closer to her maiden voyages. They're coming in mid-June now, Doobie?
June 14th is the maiden voyage. Yes, that's after the voyage we had scheduled. For those keeping track at home, so our voyage has been canceled.
And delayed and discounted. Be fair.
Delayed and discounted, yes. And but June 14th is the maiden voyage, and that video is worth watching. I don't know. To me, there's something extremely awesome about watching a ship like this hit the water for the very first time. You've been able to watch it under construction for a while, and then it just literally, they call it a float out for a reason, because they floated out onto the water.
Do you think that the contractors who built the ship are all like holding their breath at that moment? Like,
wasn't that when the Wish got her first taste of water?
By the way, Kyle is July 14th, Doobie.
Oh, did I? Okay, you're right. You're right. You are
Okay.
absolutely right. And I just check our article on that Floatout, Kyle, because that's where I got it from. But I probably wrote down the wrong thing. But just double check.
Are you guys going to spend the entire month from mid-June to July out here now?
No, I wish, but no.
But I wish.
What else do we have going on, Mr. Doobie?
No, my mistake, Kyle. Sorry. The next thing we wanted to talk about was Magic Kingdom. Disney Character Adventure Cavalcade. Is that what it's called, Jeremiah?
Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade. The weirdest name that I kept wanting to fix every other word in that. This started just a few days ago. It has the most characters of any of the cavalcades to date. Of course, we also have the debut of Miguel from Coco. Everybody is out there. It's a really fun parade. The music reminds me of the old Move It, Shake It. So go and watch the video on our YouTube. It's lots of fun. Happens 3 times a day, I believe. But check the schedule on the app. You reuse 2 of the floats. That one is mostly the heroines, and the other one is showcasing Clarabelle, 2 of the 3 Caballeros, and random characters as they go. But we also have Marie back walking down Main Street, which is great.
The baguettes. What is the technical difference between a parade and a cavalcade?
Well, originally the cavalcades were not scheduled and would just kind of appear. Now they're scheduled, so I think the biggest difference is a cavalcade will have at the most 2 floats, where a parade can have 3 or more. If that's not a real answer, it is.
What do you think of the term paradelet?
I agree with Stitch.
Okay.
Paradelet.
Paradelet. Lots of cool characters that you don't necessarily see every day, like Marie, the fox guy from Zootopia.
The fox guy from Zootopia. Nick
Clarabelle.
And Judy are both on it, yes. The fox guy. He hangs out with those football people.
3 or more are present. 3 or more are gathered in my name. A parade is present. Kyle is on fuego today. Mike Celestino, of all the Disney foxes you're aware of, which is your favorite?
Ooh.
Well, let's see how many I can think of. There's the fox, Nick Fox from Zootopia. That's not his name. Nick Wilde. The fox of the Fox and the Hound. Does he have a name?
Yes.
Todd or Copper, yes.
Todd.
And then Robin Hood is a fox, right?
Yes.
Yes. Robin Hood is a fox.
Marion is also
Fox
a fox.
Mulder.
Nice.
Currently a
very
Disney
good.
character.
Very, very good.
20th Century Fox.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. Robin Hood, I guess.
Okay. I like Fox Plaza from Die Hard.
That's Nakatomi Plaza.
But it's played by Fox Plaza. It's pretty important.
And the mystery
character.
spot is Santa Cruz, so you guys need to take Gideon, do a
How have
whole
we not been
video
there?
trip. Yeah, haven't you seen
I can explain to you later why we haven't been there. I'll add that to the list of things I'll explain to you off air.
Uh-oh. Including...
No. It's nothing bad. It's just I don't have a need to have the discussion on air. There you go.
Can we go to those balloons?
the cute ones?
Yes, the cute balloons. Those are adorable.
They are very cute. People were saying they appeared for Valentine's Day. I think they're just new balloons to add to it. They almost remind me of Jared's art with the cutesy, but I saw this. I was actually uploading a video and I heard 2 cast members going, "Oh my God, those balloons are so cute!" And I turn around and I just see that. And it's like, yes, they are. I love Donald on it just being angry. That's my favorite part of it.
That's adorable.
And Mickey's like mocking him. What's going on there?
As he should.
No, it's true. Is he angry that he's being mocked, or is Mickey mocking him because he's angry?
I don't know. Mike, what's your take, since you seem to be the on-point person for the mental stability of characters lately?
Well, I have this thing where I only like it when Donald is angry on merchandise. This is a real thing that's been going on for years. You can ask my wife, Tori. So I'm happy to see that he's angry here. I do feel like Mickey looks like he's making fun of Donald. I don't really understand the context. It's not something I would purchase.
Are the balloons helium? I'm guessing they're helium.
Yes, $15 each. They are available. These actually say Walt Disney World on them, so I don't know if they will appear at Disneyland, but if you look at it, that is clearly Sleeping Beauty Castle, not Cinderella Castle.
Do you guys remember like a decade ago,
They say Disney parks.
they said we were running out of helium? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
What happened to that?
I don't
we didn't run out?
know what happened with that. But these balloons, Jeremiah, they say Disney parks on the bottom.
I thought it said Disney World at the bottom of one.
Yeah, I flipped back between the two sides, but no, both sides say Disney parks. So to me, it seems like it's a bi-coastal thing. So
I apologize. Yes.
and no worries. They're very cute, though.
Speaking of helium,
And they don't have popcorn in them either.
Can wait, before you ask a question, Doobie, I want to ask a question because I want to find out if I'm alone on the panel in this or not.
Okay.
Do you have uninflated, or I'm sorry, the wrong. Do you have deflated balloons among your Disney collectibles?
No, I think at one point I had one of those. I had the old Mickey balloons, but at one point I had a scrapbook from a youth group I was in that had a balloon that I didn't look at for a few years, and then I went to open and it just like. So I definitely, that's one of those not going to be added to my collection things. I'll stick to
so I am
popcorn
alone.
buckets.
So I am alone in the fact that if you were to go through my file cabinet, you would find a nice folder where there are a few deflated Disney balloons nicely folded up and put into a file folder.
No, if it's not the old style balloons, if it's like the Mylar or these, they're not bad, and it would be something that I would do. But
Confessions of a Disney addict. Thank you.
Michael, during your encounter at Disneyland today, did you happen to notice the Los Angeles Rams balloons, of which Brian Sager is commenting?
I did not. If I had known that they were there, I would have looked for them, but I didn't know that that was a thing.
So according to Brian, Rebecca maybe he's trying to check this out, I'm not sure, but or maybe Kyle can, but there were Ram balloons there, and he just is a little miffed that they would have Ram balloons available, but they don't even have certain balloons for their own products, and I can understand that, but I would also not be surprised if those Ram balloons were paid for by someone other than the Disneyland Resort, because that's how things work around there.
Mr. Bob Newell is right. He may be wrong.
It may be wrong, but this show is awesome. And you're saying he's wrong?
He may be wrong.
He may be wrong. Oh, he might mean the curly balloons on the float. Oh, okay. Good point, Kyle. But not sure. Also, by the way, Kyle, the jerk store called. Running out of you.
Oh man, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
All right, Kendra Scott. This seems like something up your alley, Rebecca.
No, actually, this is Jeremiah's photos, and it's a new shop that's appeared at Disney Springs. And I'm sorry that Jeremiah's audio is like all messed up, but I have nothing to say. So Jeremiah,
for your mainline and fine jewelry needs, where do you now go?
Oh, Kendra Scott all the way. It is my number one go-to spot if I'm at Disney Springs and I need to create a custom bracelet or necklace or something.
there you go.
This is a
Disney Springs.
Yeah, this store, I walked in the day it opened and spoke with the assistant manager, and Disney Springs, most of the stores are kind of, I don't want to say bland, but they all kind of fit the exact same feel. You just walk in and it's the same basic color palette. This was bright, and as you're walking up, you just feel like it is something different. And you can make it your own. And that is actually on the wall. That isn't words I added in.
Sponsored by American Idol.
There you go. So this is a new store that opened up at Disney Springs, which right now is in the midst of Celebrate Soulfully in honor of Black History Month. They're highlighting specific items within their shops. They're highlighting pastries like from is this Pixar Soul? I always mess that up. It's Pixar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Pixar Soul. They have artwork from Bruce W. Smith on display, celebrating Tiana. So just go ahead, Jeremiah.
What these are is actually, it talks about the artist and what they worked on, and then the art is whatever they can grab off the walls and put out there. Because the artwork for Bruce was...
Oh, you're right.
I can't think of her name with the big eyes.
Correct.
But they do this every year. Last year was the first year. But with each of the months, with its different celebrations, whether it be Black History Month or celebrating women, they have different displays that really go above and beyond just kind of sharing the history of the Disney company and how they expanded their horizons through the years.
And yeah, you're correct. I did not highlight this correctly. This is Bruce W. Smith, who is the executive producer and creator of the Proud Family, and the artwork is Tiana, but not Bruce Smith's creation. Yeah. They also highlight Tiana over at the pastry shop, and with these are really beautiful. I'm sorry, but these are lovely. So
$22 beautiful.
Yep. No, I know they're pricey, but they're beautiful. It's a chocolate chiffon cake brownie with chocolate chip diplomat cream. Sounds good.
Last year, which I think they actually, Mike, have you gone out to Celebrate Soulfully at Downtown Disney out there? Did you cover this stuff out there yet?
Not yet.
No, has it started?
Yes.
Not yet.
Oh, I saw the chalk. They were doing chalk drawings. I got that. Took pictures of that.
I saw some of the walls they put up that has the artwork that was actually here last year, and then they just moved it out there this year. And this year, the only wall that they have is for the Proud Family and the upcoming Prouder Family special.
And are they doing like concerts or live shows?
I believe there's some concerts at Downtown Disney. I believe inside the Grand they have some more of the swing type band and classical band in front of the fireplace.
Celebrate Gospel is February 19th and 26th, but I think the actual celebration goes on all month.
Yeah,
I might have gotten assigned to Luke.
Maybe. We have a big team here at LP. Big team. We can't keep it all straight. It's amazing. I don't even remember everyone's name. Okay, Jeremiah. Brother Jeremiah, I know you've been excited to talk about FE Gwazi. Go for it.
I like you calling me Brother Jeremiah. I feel the connection there. Iron Gwazi, the newest coaster that's been 3 years in the making at Busch Gardens, Tampa. In 2015, Gwazi, the original wooden beast of a coaster that takes up one of the largest footprints, I think, of any coaster that I know of that I've visited. I haven't been up to Cedar Point, so don't attack me, Kyle. Closed due to it being a giant wooden coaster. And then for the past 3 years, they've been redoing it to add in the iron track, much like they did with Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And a few other coasters have done this. I've been waiting for this one since they announced it, and I was lucky enough to go out for the media day, and you can watch my video of me with this stupid smile on my face the entire video. How amazing this coaster is.
Yes, I watched the video just before we started here, and that smile is actually extra stupid, so we do recommend you go check it out. Jeremiah clearly had a really, really good time and did a good job with the video. And then at the conclusion of the ride-through, you actually stand there and kind of give your impressions of it and such. So, good thing. Is that officially open now?
No, it opens March 11th.
March 11th. Check out this drop.
91 degrees, 206 feet down.
Now, 90 degrees is straight down.
Yep. So
and this is 91.
Yeah. I am seriously holding on because I was on video, so I was trying to stay as stationary as possible and have the fun. But when I wrote it in the back, I was hands free, and the airtime they tout it as having 12 moments of airtime, but in the back, most of the ride you're just floating. It's amazing.
And Jeremiah is not my only friend who's ridden this in Florida, and I've just have heard wonderful. Like everybody who has experienced Iron Gwazi has just been super excited and spoken very, very highly about the experience. So excited for Orlando, Central Florida. This is down in Tampa, but very excited for Floridians getting another great coaster in the Florida area.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things too about Iron Gwazi, and I am telling you that I'm not going. I just want to mention this from another gem from Kyle today. Why don't we talk a little bit about first a quick mention that Universal Orlando no longer requires face masks indoor or out for team members or guests. No changes yet at the Disney parks. The California state mandate ends tomorrow, but and Orange County's already said they're going to follow that, but Disney's given no word as to whether or not they will or not.
Well, LA County, I think, has said otherwise. I think LA County has indicated that they will continue with the mask protocols, which would include Universal
Hollywood. Which is quite funny that Universal Orlando's dropping it, but Universal Hollywood will keep it.
Yes.
If they follow what happened the last time the mask mandates were dropped, it was about a week after Universal dropped their mask mandates that Disney adopted theirs. So maybe we'll see something in the upcoming, or maybe they'll just play it safe.
Let's see. SeaWorld has a new Sesame place set to open on March 26th. This is going to be very similar. This is SeaWorld San Diego. Presumably, this is going to be similar to the one down in SeaWorld Orlando.
No.
Very different from the one in SeaWorld Orlando. What?
This is its own park. SeaWorld Orlando really? Just has a small area.
It says all new Sesame Place San Diego. Oh, it doesn't even mention SeaWorld. Okay.
No, I feel like all new is misleading because it is just Aquatica, the water park that has been transformed into Sesame Place.
There you go.
I mean, it's not like the all-new Peppa Pig park that opens shortly that I will be enjoying all day on Wednesday.
I'm so jealous of you. All right,
no,
so
hold on. Those pictures are all from Florida.
This is the Sunny Day Carousel that is coming to Sesame Place San Diego, where you have cute, colorful characters going around in a circle. They have some Elmo spinny ride that looks like a lot of fun with Elmo.
That is not a picture from Florida, that Elmo ride.
And then you have a splash zone with the Count up there. I suspect the Count is counting down until he dumps buckets of water on you. And they have something called the Super Grover Boxcar Derby, which is a family-friendly roller coaster. So, by the way, is it just me, or are little kiddie coasters some of the most rough to ride? Man, those little ones, they look like they're gonna be like all simple, and then and then you get off and you're like, whoa, what just happened to me?
I have a question for Mike, which is rare, I know. But so we have SeaWorld in San Diego, and we have Peanuts in Knott's. In Universal, we have, what is their little kitty area called?
Minion,
Super Silly Funland.
Super Silly Funland. Yeah, there it is.
Super Silly Funland. So what if you've got a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old and you need to take them to a theme park, which one of those is going to give you the best experience?
Knott's has a lot of stuff for younger kids because they have the whole Camp Snoopy area with a bunch of rides for little ones. So of those three, I would say Knott's. Younger kids will have a better time.
Thank you, Mike.
But if you're, can I add in, Doobie?
Sure, Jeremiah.
If you're going off of what kids will actually relate to, Universal.
Because they know Minions.
Yeah. Sadly, they know Minions more than they know.
There was that Peanuts movie that came out not too long ago, right? That was just like last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you been called a Minion today, Jeremiah?
What is that hoodie?
It's the Star Wars half from
Oh.
Disneyland.
Oh, exercise. That's
Chewbacca.
why I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, no football people on here.
I'm with you, Todd. When did they get rid of Fievel's Playland?
Years and years and
God.
years and years ago.
Yeah,
They
way
still
long
have it
ago.
here, though.
Probably around the same time these guys were performing on the top of the charts. So the Super Bowl halftime yesterday, one of the moments kind of threw us into the theme park world again, because when the setup came out in the middle of the stadium, the top picture is your Super Bowl halftime. The bottom picture is Universal's Fast and the Furious. And I gotta say, this is instantly where my mind went. My son said,
Sadly, that's
Fast
because
and the
Gideon
Furious,
goes on that ride.
and then so did Twitter. I don't know this Twitter profile, but I was happy to see I was not alone in being thrust back into the theme park world in the midst of the Super Bowl fun.
That is a perfect comparison. That makes me so happy.
I take offense to Bob Newell's comment about Disney gear because I'm never not a walking billboard for the company.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got on Disney gear. It's for the Disney Family Museum. Yeah, see,
And Mike's wearing what?
I just happen to be too short to be able to show it off. Can't help it.
DuckTales. I'm the only one not wearing Disney gear. Give me about 4 months though. I'm gonna have a closet full
But
of
you have
it.
a Mickey Mouse over your shoulder always.
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 You do? Yeah, right up there. And most importantly, I've got to put your shirt down, boy. I've got a Skyliner right here. Best Disney ride in the world.
I really hope that the freeze frame for like the thing is all of it standing up.
Let's talk about Mardi Gras.
Jeez.
What kind of show is that?
By the way, as you go to Universal throughout the season, Jeremiah, please make sure you get a picture of that tree every time.
Yeah,
Oh, I plan to. Yes.
Okay.
do they clean it out and then like
No.
restart? Yeah, no, it's
No, by the end, it's
one of
They clean
these
it out before
branches,
the-
one of these days a branch is just going to fall off the tree from all the way. For those of you who don't know, if you've ever been to Universal Orlando, there's a very long travel that you take from City Walk to the parking structure. And the parking structure has a moving walkway, and next to it is a tree. And what people do as they exit during Mardi Gras is they take off their Mardi Gras beads and they throw them onto this tree. Now, there are also cars driving underneath this movie.
Oh yeah.
yes.
This is
Oh,
a
yeah.
great-
Trust me, as somebody who has been underneath that tree at different times, it is not a fun drive. Like, I avoid that lane at all costs.
It's a little intimidating to have plastic beads just landing upon you as you're driving by. But most of them make it onto the tree, and so throughout the season you'll see the tree become more shiny with Mardi Gras beads
The bling
hanging
tree.
from its branches.
Tree of blingy. Those are all the big stories today. Rebecca, did you want to mention anything about the merchandise or anything else?
No, because as the schedule shows, tomorrow at 4:00 is Barely Necessities. That's our live discussion of Disney merchandise. We'll also be talking about items that you can find within the Disney parks. At 10 a.m., we'll be live from Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's our walk and talk. That's where we just stroll around chatting with the well, let's see. We have somebody in the parks walking around showing off everything, and then usually Doobie's hosting it from the studio. Yes, Mr. Doobie, sir.
I'm just pointing out that I will probably be the person in the studio.
Cool.
I'll probably be the person in the park.
So there you go. So join Doobie and Jeremiah as they explore Disney's Animal Kingdom. At 2:00, the LP Movie Club is going to focus on Death on the Nile. At 4 p.m., once again, I said as earlier, Rebecca Burbank, our site manager, will be here talking Disney merchandise. We have a lot of fun doing that. You can join in the chat live. And at 7:30, Doobie, you and Gideon, our son, are going to be hosting Disney Trivia Live. Do you happen to know what those topics are yet?
I know at least one of them will relate to the birthday of our child, who will turn 13 in just 3 days. So we will be having a birthday celebration for baby Gideon.
It's on. It's on.
Okay, cool. All those times for Pacific time, of course. Mike, you were at Disneyland today. You were at Disneyland yesterday. Anything you would like to mention about those trips?
I have started to. This might be a little controversial. I'm going to say it. I've started to maybe suspect that this rumor that Disney might be artificially inflating the wait times to sell the Lightning Lane might be true.
Ooh, what was your experience? What led you to this?
We went on Toy Story Midway Mania. It was a posted 50 minute wait, and there were no guests in the exterior queue. Like, there's that back room that's part of the queue you snake through. That was full of people, and that was it. It's like a 10-minute wait posted at 50. What was the other one that we experienced was the same? Web Slingers was posted at 60 and was like a 20-minute wait.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Wow.
I can tell you from experience out here, the wait times, because you guys just started the Genie Plus not too long ago, but when
Yeah.
Genie Plus started out here, the wait times were all over the board because people don't know where it's going to fall. Because Genie Plus, it's like, there are times where nobody's using Genie Plus at all, and there are times where everybody. I've seen it out here where Remy's has had like a 30-minute posted, but it's been an hour wait, and then the exact opposite for Frozen.
So you're not saying it's a matter of deception; it's a matter of just trying to figure out what the standby time is going to translate to the actual time.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not a matter of deception at all. I'm getting my aluminum hat after this.
Wow. Okay.
Gonna eat my popcorn right out of my Figment bucket.
And I agree with Gio. I mean, the wait times that we were seeing on the app right now, they are intimidating. So I was surprised because during the Super Bowl, it used to, when I was little, be a good day to go because you had lower attendance. Now that has changed over the years, and it's not become quite as common that was the case. But I was surprised even still that a February Sunday had some of the wait times, because when we looked around 2:00, all the most, if not all of the big attractions over at Disneyland were showing about a 50-minute wait or greater. Rides like the big mountains, Matterhorn, Space Mountain, those attractions. I think Peter Pan was showing 30 minutes, which was shocking to me in comparison to the other wait times, which were quite large. So I'm interested, Gio, as well. And the other thing, to kind of shore up a little bit of what Jeremiah was saying regarding the newness of Genie Plus at Disneyland Resort, they don't do those little cards where they get a guest and they actually
Flick the card.
They measure you. It's much more based upon whether or not the people in the area are changing the times or whatever, as far as I gather. I mean, it just there doesn't seem to be kind of that same automation to it as we had seen in the past with those cards, which even they had their own flaws. So, Jeffrey giving us live numbers. Let's see. We've got 100 minutes for Tower and 135 for Rise. This is East Coast numbers. Florida.
It's like out here our numbers are accurate. It is, the parks are extremely busy.
And it's hard. Disney's in a tough place because you never, ever, ever want to give a wait time that's shorter than the actual time. The worst thing you can do is tell a guest it's going to be 30 minutes and it turns out to be 45. So you always err on the high side. But then, of course, the higher the wait, the less likely people are to get in the line, and then it can drop the posted wait, it can drop pretty quickly because, people don't want to get in a line that's an hour long.
But if you're... Sorry, I don't mean to
Go
interrupt.
ahead.
If you're an experienced guest and you get, let's say you're not a magic key holder at Disneyland Resort, but you've been to the parks a bunch. Let's say you're from out of state and you're coming in and you get inside the gates at DCA and you look on your app and you see all these high numbers and you're like, well, the waits are pretty bad. We better get lightning lanes for everything, and then you get over there to Midway Mania or whatever, and you see it's posted at 50 minutes, but that line is definitely not. Like when I saw that, I was like, this is not 50 minutes. This is 10 minutes. I knew it just from experience. That would make me just as angry as it being posted.
But
less
you don't
than
know. I mean, if you have that experience, but most guests don't know
Yeah.
That's
Well,
only
and the other side of that argument is we don't totally know yet. That's why I was curious what your experience was, because we don't know yet really what the ratio is between the Genie Plus versus the standby. That was one of the frustrations, like Soarin' at Epcot. You could walk up to Soarin' at Epcot and it would look like, oh, I'm going to walk right in. But the ratio of Fast Pass and standby was such that even though the line didn't look long, it was really long because you wouldn't move
That is very
anywhere
true.
for a half an
Before
hour.
you do, Jeremiah, also, as our CEO says, wait times are inherently behind. If it says an hour and you get in it and it turns out it's only 30 minutes, well, then they can update it to 30, but they didn't know that when you got in it. So by its nature, they're always going to be a little bit behind the curve.
Now I know they use that system where they'll hand a guest the red tag or whatever. You wear it around your neck, and then I always forget to give it to the person or whatever. But
and that's why the wait times are so long.
But how come? Like, why doesn't the system work based on the length of the line at that? Like, what haven't? I mean, I get that now. Lightning Lane is going to affect, or Fast Pass used to affect the rate at which the standby line would go through. But I can eyeball a line, knowing how
As somebody who used to work in a theme park, the lines are set up before Fast Pass, before anything else. The queue was set up. Okay, this would be 30 minutes. This would be an hour. This would be whatever. Fast Pass changed that, and then they had over 20 years of adjusting that. So Lightning Lane is something that they have to really adjust now. I mean, even when it was Max Pass, it was Max Pass, Fast Pass, and regular guests. Now with Lightning Lane, it's Lightning Lane and regular guests. If you pay the $20 for the Lightning Lane and you walk up, and there may be a 10-minute wait over here, but you're walking on that attraction even faster than you would if you had the regular line. So it's perception versus reality. And a good way to sum it up, you're paying $20 for Lightning Lane, or you can go to Universal and pay $200 and walk on to every single attraction on a Thursday, but still pay $200 for their Express Pass.
I think at some point we need to get an expert on here.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have them on our team to talk about what goes in to what shows what that wait time is. It seems like something simple. I have a feeling it's deceptively complicated,
but
especially with things like Lightning Lane, disability passes, everything comes into it.
The bottom line for me is I've been going to Disneyland for 20 years and 20 plus years. I'm used to the wait time being a bit more overestimated by a bit, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And yesterday it seemed like it was like half hour to 40 minutes overestimated, which I was not used to.
And that's where I was really surprised with the whole concept of Genie Plus, because it's very interesting when you gave me something that wasn't an exact science, and I thought it was cool that you told me it was an hour wait and I ended up only waiting 30. Now I look at you skeptically when you told me it was an hour and it was 30. That's no longer seen as
how sad is that? That used to be
that's no longer seen as wow. They exceeded my expectations to whoa. They were trying to scam me and I didn't fall for it.
And that's a huge change in mentality too.
And I never understand. And I still am perplexed as to why that decision was made. I don't understand it. I'm trying to give it time to get a feel for it, but really it just boggles my mind.
To quote the great Rizzo, they're tourists. What do they know?
But that is the one thing that is consistent, though, Jeremiah. When it comes to being a guest,
it's them.
But when it comes to theme park attendance, the one thing that you can't say that is a throwaway experience is waiting in line. You do that everywhere.
But for us, we're all very bitter and jaded. So the tourists.
I have breaking news.
Bitter nor jaded.
I have breaking news. The man who likes the camera to look up at him has something to say about this. I have breaking news.
Bitter nor jaded.
I have breaking news.
Sir, can you turn down your radio? Can you turn down your radio, please, sir?
Off or put
I'm glad my volume isn't the problem. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that our perception versus
Ben, you need
the
headphones,
guests
okay?
that come in are very different.
CEO, let me introduce you. This is the CEO of Laughing Place Enterprises, LLC, Omni Media, Benjamin A. Breitbart.
Wait, Omni Media? Do I have to add something new to my business card?
We gave you a business card?
What do you have to say on this matter? First of all, what are your credentials for speaking on this?
I worked at the theme park and was
All right.
involved in wait times.
Continue.
So it's not as simple. First of all, it's more simple than Disney makes it out to be. And it's not as simple as you also probably think. So a little history. Back in the good old days, the way they determined wait times was a cast member would go, looks like about 20 minutes, and they would flip the sign. With Fast Pass, they went to something called the Flick, which was the Fantastic Line Information Keeper. That's the red cards.
Wow, I never knew that was an acronym.
So, and the idea was those would go away because they would use My Disney Experience or Magic Bands to track it, so you didn't have to hand out the cards. But then they stopped giving everyone Magic Bands, so they needed the cards. But in any case, what happened was with Fast Pass, it added a lot of more variables to the wait time. So you couldn't necessarily tell by looking at it because you could have less vehicles running based off of what you expected to give out on Fast Passes. You could have had a downtime earlier in the day and expected Fast Passes to come back. You could have had, a situation where another attraction went down, and then they gave Fast Passes to you, and so there was all sorts of more variables. And then you had something called Ghost Riders, which is just like your DSA, your guests with disabilities, or your people you just let in the Fast Pass queue because your guest recovery or something like that, or no strings attached or what have you. So then they decided they were going to make a team, and there's still a team that would monitor these things and create algorithms and have do things to kind of figure it all out. And that was based on data. So you would have some attractions would be what they would call flick to post, where you would wait. They would just basically post whatever the flick time was. But if you have a 2-hour wait, by the time that card got through the whole system, it was 2 hours, or so you would constantly have wrong wait times. But then like for example, if a parade, if you're at Disneyland and there's a parade, not that there are right now, but there'd be a parade dump, and then suddenly all the wait times would go up because suddenly the 10,000 people watching the parade would get in line. So it was supposed to account for that. There was all sorts of algorithms that would make sense. Then when COVID happened and they got rid of Fast Pass, they essentially could go back to the looks like 20 minute plan. But now
not right away because they weren't filling the vehicles.
Right.
Street apart. Right, and so you had the weird thing with COVID where attractions that you were used to having high capacity, like Small World, suddenly had like virtually no capacity because the vehicles are designed to have everyone kind of close together. Whereas attractions like Dumbo, you could still run at what it was running before because everyone is separate. So you would go like, "Geez, why is Pirates this crazy?" It's because they're filling 2 rows of a whole thing. So, any case, Genie comes along, and there's no data. They have no idea what's going to happen. They have no idea how many people are going to take up this thing. They have no idea how many people are going to buy it in the middle of the day. And they have no clue. They have no clue how many people are going to show up. They're not particularly on top of staying on top of things based on my experience, where like I got a lightning lane for Big Thunder. I show up at Big Thunder and it's down, but I can still book a lightning lane for Big Thunder for like right now, which means I will get a lightning lane for some other attraction because it's not actually operating. So I think I think Yubi is 100% right. They're much rather underestimate the standby wait time than overestimate it. So you're seeing them trying to wean down what that
You mean reverse that, right?
Strike that, reverse it.
You
Yeah.
strike
sorry.
that, reverse it,
Yeah,
right?
they want the standby wait to be shorter than what they tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then as they get more data, they will wean it down. And the problem with Genie is unlike FastPass, you're giving out different numbers every day. And to figure out what number they're going to be giving out is they don't have a whole year of data. You know, Christmas, 50% of guests bought Genie plus, but then on the other days they bought, you know, they only were at 30%. So that's going to completely change your ratios. And, you know, I think it's going to be a long time before they're going to have enough data to kind of accurately give wait times, because in reality, even with Genie, probably the most accurate way to give the wait time would be, looks like I have 30 minutes, because the cast members doing the merging actually know how many people are there, how many people are in line. And, you know, they're the ones that get every cast member, the people that doing the wait times don't get yelled at by guests because they're way out of line. So the cast members there know how long you're waiting.
So the bottom line here is it's much more complicated than Mike seems to think. However, Mike's method is still the most accurate.
Well, no, Mike's method is definitely most accurate. And part of it is, I mean, I don't want to give Disney the pass, because part of the reason it's complicated is because they made it complicated. It's not, you know, they could be off 30 minutes because the model is off 30 minutes, but they should let the cast members change the number if the model is that far off.
And the cast does not have that power.
No, probably. I mean, and once again, it's been a bit since I worked there, but you know, based on they would, you know, there's always the people who knew how to kind of fake it, and they would get you could get you know, they would get all cranky because you know, like, but was it accurate? Okay. Yeah.
So what we're saying, we really missed the old system with the big sign in front and a little spinny dial, and the jerk guest would go up and spin it to something else.
And just keep in mind this. So they give out those cards, like, you know, let's say every 8 minutes or so. So if one person forgets to give it to the person, and then two people back to back forget to give it, or you know, they jump out of line or something, it can create great havoc.
Can we go back to Shapeland now? It's doing pretty well over there.
Oh, I so want to do an annotated, like a discussion of that with this crew. Like we all watched that. I don't know if you're Benji.
We did. We did an LP movie club on that.
On Defunctland.
I mean, you guys remember Fast Pass, and you know, you could always see the cast member kind of sometimes going into the computer by the Fast Pass thing. What they were probably doing was bumping the wait time because, you know, the attraction went down for a minute, or they just didn't want to have to deal with too many Fast Passes. So they would just say, oh, we were down for 30 minutes, and just put in the computer. And that way they didn't have all the Fast Passes come out. Well, that power is now out of their hands. And it makes it, you know, and I don't think Disney is engaged in some great conspiracy to bring wait times up to get people to buy Genie. First of all, they don't need to. And I would, you know, as someone once told me, never blame never blame malice when negligence is probably the more accurate.
I believe it.
Option.
I heard it as stupidity, but negligence is much kinder.
I
did too. I was trying to be nice.
I'm still gonna have my aluminum hat on next week, the aluminum foil hat, just to be safe.
But you know, I think Disney fans too, we're so used to looking at the length of the line and kind of in our gut knowing what that is. But that's not true. So don't go like, oh, that doesn't look like that long. No, because you don't know. You don't know how many Genie people there are going to show up, or you know, Ghost Riders, like that.
No, that's what I meant to do. Nope, that's what I meant to do. And Kyle is right. Incompetence is the proper one. Yeah, incompetence will do. I appreciate that very, very much, esteemed Highness CEO. Thank you for coming on. As you know, you're always welcome to jump on any show because you are the CEO. So
no, I don't want to bring down anyone's like quality of stream, but
that's my sound right now.
I mean, I've spent time doing standard deviations and all that junk on wait times, and it's you know, one of my favorite wait time stories is you know Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor?
I have to process that you have a favorite wait time story. Just give me a moment. Okay, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I'm with you.
Okay, so they put the flick reader before after the pre-show, but it was at a time when you held guests for the pre-show. They had to see the pre-show, and so the pre-show was 15 minutes. Now, if your wait time is under 10 minutes, it doesn't count. Like your throughput doesn't matter. It's under 10 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. Nothing matters. But there was no demand for Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, but because everyone was waiting at least 15 minutes, it was putting it at a 15-minute wait time. And so they would go, "You're not meeting your numbers." And I said, "There's no guess here. It's just that you put the stupid reader at the wrong spot." And this is why you're telling me, first of all, it's a theater show. It's not like, it's like a vehicle where you're dispatching every 30 seconds. If we're only making 60% capacity, it's not operator error. That just means there's no demand. And
because for those people who haven't worked in theme park ops, they do periodic, what do you call it when you assess a place? I can't think of the word right
Assessment?
now.
Like a utilization study?
No, I'm thinking of a specific word. It's not coming to mind. But they assess how many people go through in an hour and how efficient you're running your attraction, and they do that kind of analysis on you. It'll come to me later, the specific word I'm looking for. But so that's what Benji's referring to, because in essence, by the way the system was set up, they put that team behind the 8 ball, like just out of the gate, because of the way that the flip card was set up there.
I remember I was hourly, and I'm in this meeting, and the executive there was like, "Well, it can't be wrong." And I was like, "Why not?" She was like, "Well, they wouldn't have designed it that way." I'm like, "Are you telling me that they would never design something poorly?" And she goes, "Are you calling them stupid?" And I said, "No, I'm saying they designed it poorly."
Got it. So this is what I don't get, though. I mean, we keep saying Genie, which you mean is Genie Plus, but the flip side of it is Genie, which I would think with its AI and such would take care of making sure guests are spread out in such a way that these wait times can be more accurate. Isn't this what Genie is doing?
Nobody does Genie. I want Bob Chapek to tell me how many people are using Genie is what I really want to hear. Because
where is Jeremiah?
Underwater somewhere.
Dark Side of the Moon?
Yes.
No, that will be interesting to determine. No, that's so much worse, Jeremiah. So much worse.
The last remaining viewers are gone now.
But yeah, I will be interested to see if we get that kind of data. We heard about Genie Plus usage. Will we actually hear more about the Genie? Yes, Mike.
Speaking of regular Genie without the plus, my wife went to the parks yesterday for the first time since Genie launched and tried to use regular Genie just to see what it was all about, and it told her she couldn't use it for that day, that she had to book, use it for a future date. Like, that's how, I guess because it was far enough into the day that it had no suggestions or whatever. It was just like, next time, try it again or whatever.
Some other day.
And people really I remember talking to people at Disney, and they were really excited about Genie.
I was.
They're like, "Oh no, Genie Plus just a way to justify building Genie. Genie's gonna change the game." And in the end, people don't do theme parks like that. Especially
Genie, but Genie could change the game if it worked. It could.
I'd like to quote my favorite Wall Street analyst, Jason Bisnott from Citibank, at last week's earnings call, where he basically said something I'm paraphrasing a bit. Have you guys ever thought about investing in the ability to make good apps?
He did. He pretty much said, as the universe is moving more towards meta, are you concerned with your continuing disappointing performance with your apps and various platforms?
Has 60 years of theme park experience. They know exactly how many people can come to the park today because of reservations, so they have a really good estimate. They know exactly when rides go up and down. They know how many people have bought Genie Plus and which rides they've booked. They know how many mobile orders are out there. They have all this data, and they're telling you to make your first attraction the Main Street Cinema. This is This is beyond comical.
I
This is embarrassing.
It's funny
I was-
though. Is
I
it's
was
like
at-
it's like
I was at-
everyone who works on that project probably has friends in high enough places that they've never actually waited in line.
I was at I was at a Super Bowl party yesterday, and I was offered a beverage, and it was by a company that I'd never heard of before. So I Googled them, and I checked them out, and I was like, oh, and I read a little bit about the company, and then about an hour later, I got a $5 off coupon from PayPal towards that company. And this is what I was expecting with Disney. I was expecting that because I use my annual pass, they know that I buy cupcakes. And so therefore, when I enter the park, I would get ding, just so you know, there's a brand new cupcake over here at this particular location. That's what I was expecting and I was hoping for. And especially with Genie Plus, I really was hoping and expecting that by answering just a few of their little questions that I would get useful heads up information, not just generic information, and especially
Worse
information
than
that's not
generic.
even helpful, like go to Casey Jr. when it's not even open yet.
It's not even open yet. That should be the last check and a recommendation. It's right, not open yet. Try another.
Well, I mean, I use Genie Plus. I use Genie Plus and Genie at my last trip just to see it, and I didn't use it actually, but I was like, this not working. And I wish it did. I think it'd be great. I don't know that they have the capability to do it.
The
It's
technical
interesting,
know-how?
First of all, that the chief technology officer of DPEP, Disney Parks, left. The guy that was all about all this stuff left. And when
How long ago, Ben?
maybe 8 months ago, 6,
Okay.
7 months ago.
Okay.
Get out before it launches.
And now he works for MGM, the gambling company. So be careful. And so there's still Disney still has not replaced him as far as I can tell. So it's first of all, I hate it when Disney decides that they need to jump on a buzzword because it's a buzzword and it feels to help their stock. So this
NFT.
theme park metaverse stuff.
Meta.
NFT.
No, Meta's the one they're jumping on right now.
Right.
Yes.
And I think it'd be great if I went on Big Thunder and then it sent me, oh, here's some Westerns on Disney Plus you might want to watch when you get home.
Yes.
That'd be cool. And I mean, I'm not a super privacy nut. I mean, I understand.
I opted.
It, but Disney already knows everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's none of these things have ever worked. My Disney experience was a complete disaster when it started. Genie's not working right. Genie Plus is not working right.
Bands.
Magic Band. Even those pins.
By the way, is it Magic Band 2 supposed to be here now or whatever we're calling it?
Magic Band Plus.
That will probably launch, I would guess, right around March 1st or so.
It's a good recommendation.
Oh, I hope so.
If you like Big Thunder, go check out Hot Light and Cold
Hot Light
Feet.
and Cold Beat. There you go.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Nikki B.
If you
Yeah.
But I think what they need to do is kind of how they purchased BAMTech to be able to actually do Disney Plus, which for the most part worked fine.
Mhm.
They've had some hiccups here and there. They need to actually invest in building the infrastructure to have it, like a Disney app building team, and that's what they do. It's not. I mean, so many of the Disney apps are just some poor tech guy writing it because he needs to make it work for the park. It's not.
So what you're saying is Disney's going to buy touring plans. They could do worse.
They could do worse.
No, but,
Like they did.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so interesting. And see what you created, Mike. See with your question.
What do you got there, Mike?
We went on this long
Tangent.
discussion. Did you
Duty
find out what
here,
you
never going
needed to
home
know,
now.
Mike?
Yeah, I believe Benji's explanation.
I'm glad you believe me.
I'm just interested. I'm very interested, Mike, to see how you continue to what your experience is continuing. Like, do you continue to find it, to be as big of a pad as you did this past weekend? That's what, because I'm hearing that from various people that they're finding the queue times are far more, not like kind of a bump, but
Right.
such that they're beginning to go, this is making me feel a little icky.
Yeah, it jumped out at me. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So
I
Mike,
did have
whenever,
yeah.
whenever you get in a line now, you need to keep track what it said and what you waited. We're going to start tracking that.
I'd love to know more about that.
Sure.
All right.
I have another show and tell before we wrap.
Are we done with the CEO?
Okay.
I know he's got so many
Yeah,
things
he's
to
got
do.
stuff to do.
All right. Thank you so much for
Important
joining us,
decisions to make.
Mr. CEO. I appreciate your time.
So talking about pins, I didn't get to show these off
Okay.
last week.
I thought Mike was talking.
But no, he wants to show off
Bonkaton
his pins first.
And
It's fine.
Hang on, I'm making you big. Hold up.
They're
Ooh,
the new
Bonkaton
Her
and
Universe pins.
Is that Kim Possible,
Gio?
right?
No,
Yes.
it's Bo-Katan
And that's
and
Ron
Sabine.
Stompable. Ron Stoppable.
There you go. Okay. And Mike has some show and tell.
Okay, so remember first day of Magic Key Appreciation Month.
Yes.
They gave this away. I've already shown this on this show. But when we went yesterday, they had switched it out to this one. It's all the transportation.
I really
Although
like
it
that.
includes attractions that are transportation.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
It's
really
Doobie
hope that
getting
they
his Skyliner.
keep these just for a couple of days after the end of the appreciation month.
I like those a lot.
Those are
Good
cool.
looking.
Thank you, Mike.
You're
Those
welcome.
are super cool.
All right. Well, the only other thing I was going to mention is Tron's under construction, yada, yada. It'll still be under construction a year from now. So thank you, CEO, very much for coming on. There he is. Beautiful part. Beautiful, actually. Sincerely, though. I tease him a lot, but that was extremely helpful. That's the kind of insight and knowledge you often don't get out there, and we appreciate that we can give that to you here at Laughing Place. Information from a learned point of view. I think that's the tagline we originally went to before we switched to connecting Disney fans around the world. So thank you, Michael Celestino, for your insights
welcome.
today. Thank you, Rebecca Mosley, for your insights today.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jeremiah Good, for your static today. And once again, we'll be back tomorrow. Barely Necessities tomorrow. Walk and Talk from Animal Kingdom, LP Movie Club, Death on the Nile, and tomorrow evening, Disney Trivia Live celebrating the birthday of my favorite little boy, the one I love more than anyone else in the world other than the three people here, Gideon Mosley. Bye, everybody.